Olá, boa tarde a todos. Bem-vindo à orientação pré-embarque da Twin Palms, a empresa de homestay da 3W. O propósito dessa orientação é orientar os estudantes que estão indo para as escolas da Twin Palms, que é a empresa que faz o serviço de homestay das escolas. Para quem não me conhece, meu nome é Natália Warga, eu sou a diretora do Departamento Brasil da 3W. Hoje nós contamos aqui temos a apresentação do time da 3W, onde a gente conta com a Erin Martinez, que é a diretora da Twin Palms. Também vamos contar com a presença da Rosário Leone, que é a coordenadora da West Coast, da Twin Palms, e a Elizabeth, que seria a coordenadora da East Coast. Também temos a presença da Andrea Ciapone, que é representante da 3W no Brasil, e a Mônica Santos, que cuida dos estudantes em programas, que é a nossa Student Enrollment Manager. Essa apresentação ela vai ser feita em inglês. André e eu vamos fazer um resumo em português. Então, se durante a apresentação vocês tiverem qualquer dúvida, vão fazendo as perguntas no chat, que no final a Twin Palms ou nós, as 3W, vamos responder. A Twin Palms ela oferece esse serviço de homestay para várias escolas, então às vezes a escola tem alguma coisa específica, então essa é uma orientação geral. Caso vocês tenham alguma pergunta específica, a gente responde no final e depois a gente caminha um e-mail. Erin, do you want to start the presentation with Twin Palms? Thank you for joining us today.
Of course, yes. Thank you, Natalia, and thank you everyone that's joining us, the students and parents, and I know agents out there. Thank you for choosing Twin Palms, and we are excited that you are about to come on this exciting program. I want to start off with saying that I was cheering for Brazil in the World Cup. So it's my deepest sympathies. I was pulling for Brazil. I really was. So, but maybe next time. This presentation is, we have two presentations. This is pre-arrival. We will also have a post-arrival presentation that you will have with your coordinator. My name is Erin Martinez. I'm the National Director for Twin Palms, and I'm based in Los Angeles. And we have staff kind of throughout different regions of the US. And those are the local coordinators, and you're going to meet them in a little bit. And you'll see what coordinator is assigned to what school. I just want to say that we know that the home experience, your living experience in life in the US is going to be more than just your day at school. And we really understand, and it's our job to make sure that your whole life, not just your school life, is going well and that you're enjoying your experience. And we know that the family, we have placed every student with a family that we believe will add to the success of your program. So welcome. We're happy that you're with us, and we're excited for you to come. I think we can move on. Also, if I'm speaking too quickly, too fast, please let me know. I know we'll be translating some of it, but okay. Andre, sorry, I may have missed it. Will you be translating every slide, or?
No need to translate every slide. Girls can talk this slide, and then I'll summarize in Portuguese after these two first slides.
Great. And I might have a question for the students. Are they able to respond in the chats under this format, or not so much?
They are able to send questions, and answers. Yes. Okay,
great. So I wanted to introduce to you Rosario and Elizabeth. You're gonna be able to hear from each of them in a little bit, but if you are a student, so I'm hoping Murillo's out there, Sophia, Amanda, Matthew, if you are there, and if you are attending St. Francis High School, Rosario is your coordinator. So get out your phone. Normally we say put away your phones, but get out your phone and please add Rosario to your WhatsApp. This is her phone number right here. So Sophia, Amanda, and Matthew attending St. Francis, that is your coordinator. And you're going to hear from Rosario in just a little bit. Murillo, you are going to Clearwater, and Elizabeth is going to be your coordinator. So get out your phone and please make sure to save Elizabeth WhatsApp. Feel free to text them right now, WhatsApp them, and just say, hey, this is Murillo. Hey, this is Amanda, because they want that contact. Once you are in the United States, your coordinator is your main point of contact. And we're going to talk about that a little bit more. If you are a mom or dad, a parent or guardian, or if you are an agent, we still ask that you go through the proper channels. And for that, that is going to be your in-country contact. And so it would be Monica or your agent. So whoever your main point of contact is in country, if you have any questions or concerns, we do ask that you follow that proper chain of communication. Our staff is not fluent in Portuguese, so we just make sure that we are following that proper communication. Before arrival, a student, you're talking to your agent, but again, after arrival, these will be your main point of contact, and we'll talk about what their role is and how they're here to help and support you as a student. Also on the bottom right-hand corner, you're gonna see a 1-800 number. Our coordinators, so Liz and Rosario, they are always available. That's why you have their cell phone number. So they are always available, especially if there's an emergency. If for some reason, because obviously we are human and have schedule, if for some reason you're in an emergency and it doesn't require a 911 call, this is our 1-800 24/7 phone number. So if you're calling your coordinator, you're calling your host, and you still can't find anyone, feel free to dial this number. And that's a service that will connect you to someone within Twin Palms. This is not a medical emergency number. This is a Twin Palms only. So if there's a medical emergency or some sort of safety, this is not the emergency phone number. So I just want to make clear, this is Twin Palms staff emergency number. I would like, Andrea, how are we on translation? Should I go ahead and I want to let Rosario and Elizabeth speak a little bit, or should we, do we need to pause for translation? Are we good?
No, we're good. They can speak and then I'll translate. Okay,
great. So I'd like to turn over. We're going to start with Rosario, and then we're going to, and then Elizabeth is going to speak. But Rosario, if you can go ahead and introduce yourself and share a little bit where you're at, how long you've been with Twin Palms. And we do, our coordinators are going to have a question. So Andrea, if you could prompt the students to maybe share in the chat, that would be great. So Rosario, I'd like to hand it off to you.
Sure, Erin. My name is Rosario Lomelí de Esquivel, and I've been with Twin Palms approximately 9 years. I've been at Mater Dei and other schools where I have students. I've been married for 43 years, and I have 3 children. One of them graduated at Berkeley. The other one right now is at Loma Linda University and Medical School. And my 16-year-old who is in high school, kind of the same age as your kids, so I can kind of relate to what's going on at the school with your student, because he's 16, he's an 11th grader, and everything that your kids are going through, mine is going through. So the sports, the running around, take me here, take me there, the new computer systems, the new games, gaming instead of doing homework, all of that, I embrace it. I work with them a lot on that. So I look forward to looking for you guys coming. Amanda and Sophia and Mateos, is that correct? Am I saying it right? Mateos, okay.
Yes.
And I would love to have the students when they come and enjoy and introduce them to their families. And if there's any issues at any time, it doesn't matter if it's 11 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning, you can call me. I'm here for you. I'm here for you to have a good time. And in the good, and if something's going off that you don't like, you can also let me know so that that way I can fix it. I can try to fix it with a family. I can try to reason what's going on and all of that. But the main point is that I have two-part questions for you guys. For Sophia and Amanda and Matthews, what are you most excited about coming here? And what are you looking forward to while you are here for that 1 month? You guys can answer those. That's going to help me a lot. Thank you so much. And I look forward to meeting you guys.
So if we could, thank you, Rosario. As you can see, and you'll hear a little bit from Elizabeth too, most everyone on our team not only knows what it's like to be in a new country. A lot of us have had international experience, but we've been doing this and working with students for a while. So, but I'd love to hear Sophia, Amanda, and Mateos to repeat Rosario's question. Go ahead and share in the chats. Will we all be able to, or is that where they'll be sharing, Andrea? If you could prompt them and repeat the question. What is it that they're most looking forward to and excited about? And what was the other question, Rosario?
The question was, what are you looking forward to while you are here for that 1 month?
Great. And what are you most looking forward to?
And vocês podem responder, colocar essa pergunta em português, caso vocês se sintam mais confortáveis, como a Rosário está pedindo, o que vocês gostariam de fazer no programa, né? What are you looking for? E o que vocês esperam do programa? Se vocês puderem colocar aqui no chat para a Rosário, ela vai ajudar muito ela. Erin, we can go on, and then once they answer, they might be thinking about it. We just answer.
Great. Yeah, and if Andrea, I don't know, maybe it's good to type it in the chat, the actual question, just so that they can reference it. If we can type it in there, I don't know if that's helpful. I see Christiana wanted to just repeat it, but
Erin, I have one more thing to tell the students that are coming to St. Francis is that the students that are there, Ana Carolina and Gabriel, are very excited that they're coming. They're going to, they are both of those students have extended their 6 months stay to now to a full year because they have enjoyed it so much. So they are looking forward to meeting them.
Excellent. Thank you, Rosario. So yeah, we currently already have 2 Brazilian students that are staying longer than they originally planned, and they're looking forward to meeting you. That's great. Elizabeth, I'm going to hand it over to you. So again, this is mainly Murillo. Elizabeth is your coordinator, and she's going to be your main point of contact in Clearwater. Elizabeth, go ahead, share a little bit about yourself. Handing it over to you. Go ahead.
So hi guys, hi Murillo. My name is Elizabeth. I actually have been I've been working with students, parents, schools, and agents for about 25 years, a long time. I've been with Twin Palms just a little bit less than Rosario. And I've also have 2 adult children who are now 26 and 29, but yes, they have gone through the teenage years, which we all seem very familiar with. So I do look forward to Murillo, of coming over. We do have 2 other students as well from different schools, but getting to know the culture is just great. I do work with a host family who will be hosting a Murillo coming in, who is very active and loves doing things with her students. So I can't wait. I can't wait for the student to come. I'm very accessible. I have my cell phone with me at all times. I do WhatsApp, I text message. So, and I've communicated very well with many of the students who have come here, had great experiences, and have moved on, graduated, and looking forward to, the next one.
Thank you, Liz. Yeah, it's one of the biggest things that we see and love about the Twin Palms Homestay program are the relationships that are developed and continue, not just during the time that a student is here, that you're going to be here, but oftentimes years after. So I know both Rosario and Elizabeth and many of our hosts have continued to stay in contact with students because the time that the student is here is so special and impactful. Elizabeth has one question, I think, for your students, if you remember, Liz. If not, I can ask it.
That would be great. Thank you, Erin.
Yeah. So for Murillo, if you can share in the chats or the Q&A there, what are you most nervous or fearful about coming abroad? I don't know, maybe it's your first time in the US, maybe not, or about the program. Is there anything that you're a little hesitant about or might make you a little nervous? We'd love to know what that is. That's important and helpful for us to know, and also helpful just to share and here, and we can even kind of address some of those things that you might be sharing, that you might be excited about, or that you might be fearful about. So we'd love to hear that. Go ahead and put it in the chats or the Q&A there, wherever Andrea's prompting you. So thank you, Rosario. Thank you, Elizabeth. Obviously stay on there, but again, students, please make sure, and this goes to the mainly students only, please go ahead, add Rosario if she's your coordinator. If you're attending St. Francis and Murillo at Clearwater, please go ahead and add Elizabeth right now so that we can make sure that you guys are in contact. It's very, very important. I think we're good for this slide, Andrea.
Okay, I'll just summarize em português. Pessoal, vamos fazer aí rápido resumo em português para vocês do que foi falado. A Natália já me apresentou, eu sou a Andrea, representante da 3W aqui no Brasil, e nós colocamos aí no chat algumas perguntas bem importantes, e vou compartilhar aí com elas as respostas, mas vocês conheceram agora a Erin, que é a diretora nacional da Twin Palms, assim como a Rosário e a Elizabeth. A Rosário é a coordenadora da Costa Oeste, então estudantes que estão indo aqui, hoje nós temos alunos da São Francis, na Califórnia. A Rosário será aí o seu principal contato em termos de acomodação durante o programa. E a Elizabeth para o Murilo, que está indo para Clearwater, o mesmo, tá? A gente tem aí o WhatsApp delas, então elas estão sempre à disposição para ajudá-los em tudo o que diz respeito à acomodação, né, em termos de dúvidas, se vocês precisarem de algum suporte, precisarem de alguma ajuda, né, na acomodação de vocês, são sempre as coordenadoras locais, então, a Rosário ou a Elizabeth, que são o principal contato do estudante, tá? Nós também reforçamos que para os agentes e os pais, mantendo aí um contato através da 3W, né? Então, a gente precisa manter essa cadeia de comunicação, até para que nós todos estejamos cientes das situações e também para que as soluções sejam rápidas, né? Então, quando o aluno fala diretamente com a sua coordenadora, esse é o ideal, né? Para que tudo ali que pode levar um certo tempo seja o mais rápido possível. Então, os pais, em geral, falam com a gente, que vai falar conosco aí da 3W, todas nós falamos português na 3W, e a Mônica, que está aqui hoje com a gente, ela é o principal contato da 3W durante o programa, ela que também está sempre em contato com os estudantes, principalmente no que diz respeito à escola, nesse caso, né? E aí a acomodação sempre com a Rosário ou com a Elizabeth, tá? A Erin também compartilhou que essa é uma orientação pré-embarque, Cada estudante tem uma orientação pós-embarque com a sua coordenadora diretamente, então outras informações até mais específicas sobre a escola, sobre a região onde vocês vão morar, né, vão ser passadas nessa orientação pós-chegada. Então, o número de emergência que está aqui na tela para vocês é um número caso vocês não consigam falar com a coordenadora, né? Então, sempre tentem falar com a coordenadora. É claro que em casos aí de saúde ou até mesmo de segurança, o ideal é que vocês já procurem autoridades, mas para coisas do dia a dia com acomodação, sempre uma das duas. E caso vocês não consigam contatá-los por algum motivo, temos aí o número de emergência 24 horas. Tá? Então, vamos aguardar aí as respostas de vocês no chat. Se alguém não souber ainda a resposta dessa pergunta, depois, conforme for, a gente passa para a coordenadora, mas é legal vocês responderem até para elas conhecerem vocês um pouquinho melhor. O Murilo, inclusive, já até respondeu. Elizabeth, we have Murilo's answer already. So, he said it's not his first time in the US, but he is waiting to see how it is to be involved with a host family. That's a first for him. So he's kind of nervous about the relationship with the family. So that's what he's concerned about.
Thank you, Murilo. That's a very normal fear that you might have is, am I going to get along with the family? So that's very normal. Andrea, let's go ahead and actually move to the other page. And in part, it kind of addresses what Murilo's fear is. Because one of the main role of your coordinator is to support you. And Elizabeth, you can speak more to this about your experience, of course, with the students and their relationship with the host, since that's one of the fears that Murilo has. Is what is that going to be? Is it going to be good? Am I not going to get along with them, or am I? One of the things I like to, for all the students to know is that before you arrive, the host has gone through a pretty vigorous vetting process and also are trained before you come and are welcomed by them. So they definitely are aware of the program. You aren't just dropped there alone. You have a coordinator, and your coordinator knows your hosts, and they want to know you, and they want to know you. So the biggest thing, if there's anything that bothers you, anything unsettled, any question, and you don't feel comfortable with your host to talk about, very important from the beginning to communicate what that is to your coordinator. Your coordinator is trained and knows how to help you address it. So if there's an issue, they're there to help it. So I'll start from the top here. Our coordinators are the ones that have selected the family that you're going to be living with. So they know about, as I mentioned, they know about the host, and they specifically have placed you with this host family. And our coordinators have read from your application a little bit about you, and they made a specific match. So just keep that in mind, that they know them, which means if there is an issue, it's very normal for our coordinator to talk to the host about it and say, hey, Murilo is confused about breakfast. Why is it that he has to go find his own cereal in the cabinet? He thinks you're not feeding him breakfast. So it's very normal for our coordinator to have these conversations because they have a relationship with them. So our coordinator is the one that has found that host family. And if you haven't received your homestay placement yet, you will be receiving it probably in the very, very near future. Monica or Andrea probably will be sending it to you this week, I'm sure, if not, if you don't have it already. Our coordinator, it's very important and required to be a part of our program that you meet with them once a month, and they'll be sending you a video link. Why do we do this? it's very important. Number one is your safety. So we want to make sure that we know how you're doing, how you feel in the home. If there's any concerns, it's good practice with speaking. They'll be asking questions. It will be an opportunity to share anything about your experience with them. And sometimes you talk to your mom or dad in Brazil, and maybe they have concerns, but you don't know how to go about, getting support. Our coordinators, that person on your video calls, that you can share, hey, my mom is concerned that, I'm home too much, or, I haven't met any friends yet. And our coordinators want to know that. So the video calls are very important. I know many of you probably will become busy with your schedules at school and with new friends, but it's very important that we do this once a month, that you'll be meeting with them. Of course, you can ask for their support more, but it is required for you to meet them on a video call once a month. I mentioned this a little bit earlier because of what Murillo shared about kind of some of his nervousness around nervousness about interacting with the family, if it will go well or not. And again, we are here to help. So our coordinators are here to offer support, any acculturation. So anything that maybe is unique to United States or Americans or families locally, that might be different. They have been working with students from all different countries, and so they're here to help you with that acculturation, overall wellness. So if you might be doing great at school, but internally maybe you feel lonely, disconnected, we also want to know those things. So if you need advice, we have many students that ask for our coordinators for advice. They say, hey, my host family, does this and this, and I want to ask them, is this okay? Or my friend at school asked me to go to a sleepover. Is this, I know it's common in the US, but I haven't been to a sleepover. Whatever it is, it can be little or big. We're here to help, give advice, whatever you'd like. Our coordinators are also very familiar with the school you're attending. So again, if you have any questions, they can also help get you connected with the right person at school. So any problems you have, you just know that you have the support that you need. It is very important, back to your safety, that our coordinators always know where you're at. We expect that you're with our host family that is trained in our program and has gone through rigorous background checks. But if you're going to spend the night with a friend, if you want to visit a family member or not, or go out, go on a trip, it's very, very important that your coordinator knows in advance and approves that. Very, very important. Your parents have entrusted us with your care, and so we take that very, very seriously. So just keep in mind, whatever your plans, just make sure your coordinator knows. It can be a text. And after you arrive, your coordinator is going to share with you what that process is. So if you're going on a trip, there is a process and a form that you need to fill out and have your parents sign before it gets approved. So just please know that once you arrive, they do still need to know where your location is. One other thing here with your coordinator, of course, and just in general, the biggest thing we say is communicate. You can over communicate with your coordinator, but it's always good to tell them if there's an issue when it's a small one before it gets big. So if there's any concerns or any questions, communicate it. They won't be surprised. They've heard a lot of different things from a lot of different students. So whatever the question, it's always good to over communicate versus under communicate. So so please make sure that you are in contact with your coordinator, and they do want to get to know you. So that's part of what they enjoy about this job, as you heard from them earlier. So That's a little bit about the role, and you'll be meeting with them more post-arrival, of course. I think that's it for that slide, Andrea. All right. So you probably have an idea in your mind with what your family is going to look like. Yeah, I think we all do. And especially with Americans, maybe you have an idea in your mind. You know the Brady Bunch family. Some of you might know the Brady Bunch family. The Kardashians, right? Their famous family. So this is maybe what you have in your mind, your expectation, what you see on TV, a hot breakfast with eggs and bacon and pancakes every morning, a Thanksgiving meal for dinner, patriotism there with the flag, a lot of, you know, wealth there you see with the famous. So this is maybe what you have in mind for your family. And the reality is, and we can go to the next slide, that families here might not be what you're thinking of before you arrive. And you'll see there's a little difference to the slides, right? Feel free to share also in the chat what some of the differences are that you've noticed. First off, there's a lot of ethnicity. There's a wide range, and this is such a so many varied ethnicities and people from so many different ethnic backgrounds in the U.S. And we're going to talk about that a little bit more. Maybe in the first picture you saw a big, huge hot breakfast, and in this one you see the aisle of cereal over there. A lot of cereal. And you'll see people here from different ages, different backgrounds, religious. You see people doing chores. Why don't we go ahead and move traffic? Why don't we go ahead and move to the third slide, and it kind of lists some of the things. Oh, is there a slide before this?
No, that's the next slide.
Oh,
After.
okay. Okay, well, we can do this one first. So the first thing we can, I wanted to share a little bit because it's a big misconception of maybe what some people believe kind of the makeup of the U.S. is there are a lot of people from a lot of different ethnic backgrounds. And I wanted to, Andrea, let me know when if I'm able to have control kind of over on my screen.
I've already shared remote control with you.
Okay, let me see.
There's probably a message for you. Try to move your mouse. Let's see if you can.
Do I have it?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, but it's still on your screen, yeah?
Yes, it is.
Oh, okay, got it. Okay. Yeah, so I just wanted to point, are you able to pull up that link then?
Yeah.
I have it up on mine. I was just gonna, or you can hover. I was just gonna hover my mouse over southern, kind of the areas that they're gonna be going to school, just so they have an idea of kind of the makeup of the families there.
See if you can.
Excellent. Is that my mouse?
Yes, it is.
Okay, great. I couldn't tell if we were both going or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, so our families represent just what the general population of that area. So it's kind of a micro kind of cosm of that area. And this is a map that shows what that the kind of racial diversity that we have, especially in the areas that you're attending. And I believe, let's see, the map here will tell us right above here. So you'll notice that the dark green, there's like a lot of dark green and light green. So a lot of Hispanics, kind of over in this region. Just notice that there's a lot of ethnic diversity. So this is kind of the area that St. Francis is in. And so these are the kind of the what to expect as far as coming and living in the area and families that it represents. Some families might be connected to your school and community. And some of them might be just local families that live nearby. And then let's see, am I at New York? Yes, here's New York. So, oh no, there's no New York students here, are there? There's Clearwater students.
Clearwater.
So this is Clearwater, and it gets an idea here of what the families are like. So as you can see, that's one of the beautiful things about, and one of the things that we really take a lot of pride in here in the United States is how much ethnic, racial diversity we have here. And it's something that you should expect as well when you come to the United States, that our families are from all sorts of backgrounds, religious. Some of them might have children, some of them might not. And I think, Andrea, this would be a good time to go ahead and you can take back control, and let's go to the next slide.
Yeah.
Thank
I
you,
think
Erin.
Natalia will summarize.
I'll do a little summary of a lot of important information. So, a Erin passou bastante informação aqui importante, né, do programa, e ela, resumindo, a parte mais importante aí dos estudantes, essas perguntas que o Murilo passou, de como é que eles vão se adaptar com a família, será que eu vou gostar da comida, será que eu vou conseguir, né, fazer as perguntas para eles em inglês, isso é tudo natural do processo. Mas o que é importante do programa, para ele ter um programa de sucesso, é a comunicação. Tá? Então, vocês se comunicarem com as coordenadoras locais, como a Erin, a Rosário, a Elizabeth comentaram, elas são as pessoas que estão para ajudar vocês. E elas têm um relacionamento com a família também. Essas famílias foram escolhidas, vetadas, passaram pelo processo de seleção pelas coordenadoras. Então, elas conhecem também a família. E qualquer pergunta, qualquer dúvida, qualquer coisa, ou às vezes até, como a Erin mencionou, se você quiser somente uma opinião, né, uma sugestão, isso vai acontecer esse final de semana, não sei o que eu faço, o que você me sugere? Elas estão para ajudar vocês, para orientar vocês, e elas fazem isso há muito tempo, então elas, né, podem ajudar da melhor maneira possível. Então, qualquer pergunta, qualquer que vocês tenham dúvida, pergunta, ou até como a gente falou de novo, se vocês querem alguma recomendação, sugestão, contacte a coordenadora local. Tá? Uma outra coisa que a Erin comentou, os estudantes que vão fazer semestre ou ano, tá? Vocês têm uma videoconferência com a coordenadora local, isso é importante pela segurança de vocês, para saber como é que vocês estão indo, se vocês têm alguma dúvida, de novo, se vocês querem pedir alguma ajuda, essa é feita, a experiência que vocês estão tendo é passada, é trocada pela coordenadora internacional. Tá? Essa orientação que a gente está tendo hoje da Twin Palms é uma orientação pré-embarque. Tá? Eles estão passando os pontos gerais da Twin Palms. Então, quando vocês chegarem, vocês vão ter a orientação local com a coordenadora, onde ela vai passar todas as regras do programa, todos os processos, como funcionam. Uma parte importante do programa, como a Erin comentou, os seus pais estão... É uma responsabilidade muito grande ter vocês aqui nos Estados Unidos. Então, a Twin Palms, a Host Family, sempre tem que saber aonde vocês estão. Tá? Então, isso depois vai ser passado em detalhe como é que funciona esse procedimento. E se vocês tiverem viagens ou alguma coisa que tenha um planejamento maior, isso tem que ser informado, tá, para as coordenadoras com antecedência. Se tiver qualquer viagem, vocês vão dormir fora de casa, qualquer coisa, os seus pais têm que aprovarem isso. Então, tem vários formulários que vão ser passados para vocês, tem que ser assinado pelos seus pais. Em geral, esses formulários aí vão ser passados através da 3W. Tá? Então, novamente, reforçando a importância da comunicação. Tá? Um outro fato sempre é aqui nos Estados Unidos, todas essas atividades são comunicadas com antecedência. A Erin também comentou um pouquinho sobre as expectativas e a realidade das casas de família. É natural, né? A cultura americana mostra muito através de filmes, séries, como é que é a cultura deles, mas é filme, é série ou celebridades. Não é necessariamente com a realidade das famílias americanas, né? Os Estados Unidos é um país multicultural, similar ao Brasil, né? Tem famílias de várias culturas, várias religiões, famílias que são grandes, pequenas, famílias que vão receber que são adultos mais jovens, adultos mais velhos, às vezes pode ter uma mãe solteira, então o conceito de família é amplo e essa é a realidade do programa. E a Erin também mostrou um mapa, né, mostrando, depende da região que você está vindo, tem uma influência maior, às vezes da cultura hispânica, outras vezes da cultura asiática, da cultura... Então, todas as regiões são multiculturais, né? Então, você pode ter famílias de várias culturas. Aproveitando aqui, falando, Rosario, Sofia, answer the question regarding what she expects from the program. She said, she wrote here on the chat that I'm very excited to know new cultures and live new experience. I hope this program will add to my dream of living in the US in the future. So that's Sofia Ciabarella answer for you, Rosario.
Yes, it sounds like you want to, this is maybe the beginning of maybe staying even longer in the United States. And I will say that many of our students do, and they go on to American universities. And so this sounds like this is a good kind of first step in that direction. Thank you, Sophia, for sharing. Thank you, Natalia. Yeah, this is a little bit about what you saw in the pictures and what you saw on the map, but mainly what you saw in the pictures about maybe some of the expectations versus the reality. So expectations here kind of on the left, or what you might have in your mind, that maybe the family is going to be a traditional family unit. And I think Natalia mentioned this, you know, maybe in your mind, a mom, a dad, two children or three children, maybe children my age. Maybe in your mind, Americans have a lot of money, big homes. Maybe you think that the families are always going to be able to entertain you or provide a lot of activities for you, or always serve you food or hot breakfast. Maybe you think that you're going to have a best host brother or host sister. And some of these things can be true, but some of it could be a different experience. I'll pause right there and move over to the right side. The truth is that a lot of our families are very diverse, and we've already talked about that. Some of our families do have children, but not all of them have children. You may or may not have a sibling. Sometimes they're older. Sometimes we have families that used to have children at the school that you're attending, and now their children are older. For meals, sometimes it can be a hot breakfast, maybe if it's a special day or the weekend, but many times it's common during the work week to have cereal or something on the go, or to help yourself. Sometimes in the morning, it might be toast. You might have to help yourself. It might be yogurt, granola, a bagel. Some people might eat a lot of hot kind of foods in the mornings, but some families don't. We'll go back over here to the left side, and we'll do kind of the bottom part. So a lot of times, because of the culture you're coming from, and Brazilians are known to be very warm and welcoming as a culture. A lot of times when you go to a different country, you might expect that same sort of reception. And Americans sometimes maybe express themselves more verbally, and they might say, happy to see you, but they might not give you a kiss on the cheek. So just know that there are those differences. And with social freedom, families here, a lot of your activities and are around the school. So school activities, school dances, school sports, school clubs. And so you might be used to going out at night with friends and things like that, or going to parties. And in the United States, you do have freedoms and independence, but it might look a little different. Teenagers here typically aren't out at night partying. Not that all Brazilians are, but there seems to be, sometimes we hear from some Brazilian students that it's different. So if you experience that, talk to your coordinator about what that might kind of differences are, and how is it that students do experience kind of their social life here in the United States. Maybe you come from a really urban area, a city, where you are able to have access to a lot of kind of different things easily. And you're able to kind of have that freedom of going on the bus a lot. And in the United States, a lot of it are suburbs. And so what that means is that you're going to be needing to get a ride from your host family or host mom. And it might not be an easy access to just hop on a bus. So it might be more of a commute. It's a different sort of structure. We have our neighborhoods with families and houses, and then there are the areas, kind of the downtown areas that you can go to with stores and things like that. Maybe in your mind, your family is always going to decide things around your schedule, or you expect to be, let's say, what we say, catered to. And American families do expect that you are self-sufficient to a certain degree. Our students know how to do their own laundry. Everyone in a family in the United States has chores. And so whether you're a host dad or host mom, typically chores are shared. And the members of the family all have a responsibility. And that's something that you go over with your host family after you arrive. What are the expectations for that? But there is an independence and a self that you might be helping with dinner, or you might serve yourself. So there's definitely a sense of independence that American families have. And maybe you're expecting hamburgers and pizzas and hot dogs, and we do have that. But our families do obviously make a lot of different varied meals. Let's see, what did I miss? The biggest thing, of course, that actually should be on both sides, I meant to put it on both sides, is you expect, I'm sure, that there's a mutual respect of each other, of the house that you're staying in, and the family of you and your space. And they expect the same thing, and that should be the reality of it. So that really should have been on both sides. I'm sorry I didn't list it on both sides there and there, but and I think I mentioned that last point here, the structured and parental oversight. American families maybe, and I don't know if this is different, do have a certain structure and schedule sometimes. And that might be different than kind of what you're used to. The structure will be different. And there is supervision. So a lot of times families might say, hey, where are you? Are you safe? Checking in and things like that. So do expect that it's not going to be all freedom, that your host is going to care about you and wonder where you're at. So just know to expect that. We can move on. If you feel like you need to translate, feel free. I know there was a lot there.
Yeah, I will, then I'll translate this one right here. Bom, a Erin comentou um pouco mais sobre essas expectativas versus realidade, né, que a Natália falou um pouquinho mais também com vocês hoje, e eu falei também nas orientações para embarque que nós fizemos algumas semanas atrás. Isso é muito importante, né, a gente bate nessa tecla, porque essa expectativa é muito importante estar alinhada, né? Então, aqui algumas questões que a Erin trouxe na coluna da esquerda, né? As expectativas e a realidade. As casas grandes, né, que muitas vezes nós vemos nos filmes, a família, vamos colocar tradicional, que tem até mesmo irmãos, irmãs, nem sempre vai ser com esse formato. Pode ser um casal sem filhos, um casal com filhos, né, ou uma pessoa solteira, uma casa menor, com bastante diversidade, né, então existe muita diversidade, como nós vimos no mapa, né? Em geral, as refeições, principalmente o café da manhã, eles são refeições mais rápidas. A gente viu ali em alguns slides atrás vários tipos de cereal. Então, é importante também a gente ter em mente que as famílias, né, a host families de vocês têm a sua rotina. Eles têm os seus horários, eles têm o seu trabalho. Então, cada um ali tem uma rotina e vocês também vão ter a sua, né? E, em geral, se vive nos subúrbios, né, que nós chamamos nos Estados Unidos subúrbios, que são pequenas cidades nos arredores de cidades grandes. Então, é comum, é difícil a gente encontrar casas realmente no centro, mais urbanas, e sim em subúrbios que são como bairros residenciais que nós temos aqui no Brasil, né? E aí, sim, é sempre necessário carona, em geral, pode ser que em um ou outro caso você consiga pegar um ônibus, mas é sempre interessante alinhar tudo isso com a host family, né? E falando um pouquinho também de cultura, né? Nós brasileiros, em geral, somos ativos, sociáveis. O americano, ele tem um perfil diferente. Isso não quer dizer que eles não serão receptivos, mas eles são a sua maneira, né? Então, é importante que a gente entenda também as culturas. E a Erin mencionou também, era para o respeito estar na coluna da direita também, afinal, é um respeito mútuo. Da mesma forma como nós queremos ser respeitados pela nossa cultura, também é importante respeitarmos a cultura americana e assim, com certeza, o programa vai fluir muito melhor. Então, aqui um pouco mais para alinharmos aí sobre a expectativa em relação à casa de família. You can go ahead, Erin.
Thank you, Andrea. Yeah, so, and I realize it's almost been an hour, so I'm gonna kind of go a little faster here. Just quickly, within the first couple days of your arrival, it's going to be very exciting. But a reminder, I said this kind of on the first or second slide of the coordinator, your host family and your coordinator are going to be your main point of contact. Of course, your host, they are there. But the second point of contact is your coordinator. So no longer are you going to be going to your agent or to 3W. Excuse me, if you are a student, you are going to your host and your coordinator for anything, any questions or anything that you need to discuss. This will make communication much more efficient and direct. All right. When you first get there, it's very important that you learn about your family and you share about yourself. They're going to be asking questions, and it's important for you to ask them as well. So they're going to be opening up their lives to you and their home and their personal space. And the more they feel connected to you and you to them, and that you show that interest, often that really leads to a successful placement, just having that connection. And that's really important even the first couple days. And you also, it takes us to our next point with home expectations. You're able to really learn how the family works, and they're able to learn about you and maybe how you work or certain things that you like to eat. So, so you're going to be learning about the family expectations. When is laundry day? What time is dinner? Do you are chores on Saturday? Do you need to tell your family in advance if you need a ride on the weekends? Do you need to ask them if you're going to bring a friend over? Typically, the answer is yes, you do. Knowing what time meals are, being respectful of the schedule, sharing your about yourself and things that you like to do. For example, Maybe you like to do laundry a certain way. We always use our washing machine and dryer, but maybe you like to wash your clothes, certain clothes by hand. Just explain that, ask questions. It's all kind of about that experience. So don't be afraid, but you're going to be learning about kind of how the family functions and the routines. Very important, you know what time you have to leave house to get to school on time, and what time you'll be picked up. Sometimes it's very common with school rides that because many of our host families work, you might have to go to the library after class, school, or stay at an activity. It's very common. Our schools are typically very open. They open early because students arrive early, and they stay late. The schools are open late because students are always around at the library or at an activity. You're going to familiarize yourself with the area. So you might ask your host, is there a grocery store nearby? Is there a park nearby? Are there walking paths nearby? So you can kind of know where you're at and get acquainted with the area you live in. And it's of course different for everyone there. The other thing that's very important is insurance, medical insurance. Your coordinator, Rosario or Elizabeth, will be emailing you or sending via WhatsApp your medical insurance card. Your host family also will have that. Take a picture of it, save it. If you need to ever see a doctor or an urgent care, you need that. And they will talk to you a little bit more about what that process is. But please know that when you have that medical insurance here is privatized, and that card, whatever that company is, has a network of doctors in your area that it will cover. And so your host or your coordinator will help you get connected to that network of medical providers that are connected to your insurance. Okay. And it's common that you might have to pay some sort of fee to potentially see a doctor, but with insurance, the fee is much smaller. For example, it might be $30 and not $230. Two other things within your first couple days is making sure that your cell phone works, that you're connected. Some of you might want a US number. You can talk to your host family to help you with that. And some of you want to make sure that you have some sort of bank system or kind of set up, and your coordinator again or your host family can help you with that. Some students just use that transfer service, but there's different ways to go about that. And that's something that you can kind of get settled within the first kind of, let's say, week of your stay here. The other thing is that you will be receiving from your coordinator is a handbook. This handbook, we've gone on, I know, a long time here. We're almost done. Thank you for hanging in. But the handbook is even longer, and it's a great resource, and you're going to be receiving that. It has a lot of expectations of the program and things like that, that you're going to be reviewing with your coordinator at the post-arrival orientation. So be on the lookout for that. You should be receiving it within the first couple of days of arrival. And I think with that, we can go on to the next as well.
Yeah, I'll just translate.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Bom, falamos um pouquinho já disso também nas nossas últimas orientações, né? Mas reforçando que o ponto principal de contato de vocês é primeiramente sempre ali a sua host family, né? Então, qualquer necessidade, qualquer dúvida, vocês podem e devem perguntar para o host de vocês e a coordenadora da Twinn Palms, né? Não esqueça de fazer perguntas sobre a família, né? Então, ao chegar lá, vocês saberão um pouquinho mais da rotina deles, qual é o horário do jantar, qual é o horário que eles saem para o trabalho, qual é o horário vocês devem sair também de casa para ir para a escola, e as tarefas, né? Nós comentamos na nossa última orientação que é comum, faz parte da cultura americana, todos têm tarefas dentro de casa, pequenas tarefas ali, inclusive os pais, e uma delas é a roupa de vocês, né? Então, vocês estão responsáveis por lavar a roupa, por utilizar a secadora. Não se preocupem, façam perguntas também para a host family de vocês, caso seja a primeira vez, né, que vocês estarão lavando a própria roupa. Se familiarize com a área onde a casa se encontra, né, se tem um mercado, se tem lojas, se tem restaurantes. Então, façam essas perguntas, né, para os hosts de vocês. E o seguro-saúde emergencial, nós também já mencionamos. Vocês receberão um ID card e não esqueçam de estar sempre com ele. É muito importante estar com ele e apresentar no momento, se for necessário, utilizá-lo. Similar ao que nós temos em convênio médico, há uma rede credenciada, então não é possível utilizar qualquer médico, qualquer hospital. Então, sempre é necessário se comunicar com a família de vocês, ou até mesmo com o coordenador, caso haja necessidade de uso, mas é importante de responsabilidade do estudante estar sempre com a ID card do seguro-saúde. E qualquer outra necessidade na chegada, né, ali um chip de celular, precisa fazer compras para os primeiros dias, tudo isso a host family estará à disposição de vocês também para ajudá-los neste momento de chegada. E o manual, vocês terão mais um manual para ler, né? Eu já comentei que a gente tem alguns, eu sei que são extensos, mas é muito importante, né, que vocês leiam e sigam as regras do manual. Então, a própria coordenadora da Twin Palms de vocês enviará o manual específico da Twin Palms para vocês lerem, entenderem todas as regras do programa e muitas dúvidas também, né? Geralmente, dúvidas gerais do programa estão dentro do manual, pois são dúvidas recorrentes que nós costumamos receber de diversos estudantes.
All right, this is for Murillo asked this question. When you land, so you're getting ready for here, if you have not shared your flight information yet with your point of contact there in Brazil, please make sure you send it. Elizabeth and Rosario are going to make sure that your host family have that information. So once you land, you are going to be sending a message to your host family. Your host family is the one that's going to be at the airport, okay? So please let them know that you landed. Please let them know once you clear customs, because our airports here, of course, are really big. A lot of times they have to figure out timing. Sometimes it takes an hour from when you land to get your suitcase. So it's really important that you're in really close communication when you land, where you are, what gate you're at, and so forth. They should have all your flight information already, but please. Your coordinator also might send you a message because they know your flight when you land. Hey, everything good? If for some reason you don't hear from your host, contact your coordinator. They'll know the flight, they can help you. If for some reason you're not feeling good in the airport, you can always go to an information table. But again, you have your host family before arrival, you have your host family contact and you have your coordinator contact. And just in case, you also have that 1-800 contact. So do not worry, you'll be picked up. Please make sure that you share your flight information before, and please make sure that you're in contact via WhatsApp with your host family before arrival and with your coordinator, so that once you land, it will go well and smooth. So those are just real quick kind of post-arrival directions. And that pretty much is the end of our pre-arrival orientation. Thanks for sticking with us. I know it's been a bit long. If anyone has any questions, and I want to be respectful of everyone's time. If you have questions and you need to hop off, you can always email, I'm guessing Andrea or Monica, whoever your main point of contact is, and they will pass those along to us, and we will gladly answer, but any questions off the top of your head, we are excited to receive each and every one of you, so.
You're on mute, Natalia.
Thank you, Erin. I'm just going to do the summary in Portuguese of the last slide. Então, para a gente só passar as últimas informações que a Erin mencionou de chegada, então, como a Erin falou, quem não recebeu a família deve estar recebendo até o final dessa semana. Tá? É super importante, a gente recomenda que vocês entrem em contato com a família antes da chegada, passem para ela o WhatsApp de vocês, tem o WhatsApp delas, de vocês, e durante a chegada, quando vocês chegarem no aeroporto, como a Erin mencionou, os aeroportos são grandes, é uma época de bastante pessoas viajando, essa época de final de ano, começo de ano, então comunique com a família que você chegou, que você pousou, que você está indo pegar a sua mala. Caso a família não responda, entre em contato com a sua coordenadora, ou isso também vale caso você tenha alguma mudança no seu voo, se seu voo atrasou, se você perdeu alguma conexão, entre em contato com a família e com a coordenadora. Tá? Nesse caso, também é importante os pais, se houver alguma mudança, né, como a Erin comentou, tanto a Rosário quanto a host family vai estar acompanhando os voos e a chegada do aluno. Mas se houve alguma alteração, se o voo atrasou, se perdeu alguma conexão, é importante que o estudante comunique à família e a coordenadora, e os pais comuniquem a gente, comuniquem a 3W. Tá? Então, novamente, volta, né, porque a gente tem falado durante toda a orientação, o que é importante nesse programa é a comunicação. Tá? A Erin mencionou, caso vocês tenham alguma dúvida no aeroporto, perguntem para a companhia aérea, perguntem, às vezes, se vocês estiverem de portão, alguma coisa, pergunte em alguma loja, alguma coisa, mas a família vai estar esperando por vocês e vai pegá-los no aeroporto. Então, como a Erin falou, essa orientação passou um pouquinho de 1 hora. Caso alguém tenha alguma dúvida, por favor, escreva agora no chat, ou se vocês tiverem dúvidas adicionais, passe para o seu agente, que estarão entrando em contato com a Andrea. Mary, I think that was a very complete presentation. I don't think we have any other additional question.
Great. Well, thank you everyone for joining. Start packing. We're excited to receive you all. Have a wonderful holiday season, and we'll see you guys in the new year.
Erin, actually, I am sorry. I think a question just came up.
Yeah.
So we had a question regarding the bedding. Does the student need to buy sheets or towels? Or the whole
Good question. Rosario, do you want to answer that? Oh, you're muted. You're muted.
Okay, normally the host family would provide the sheeting and the bath towels and the bed.
Yeah. Your host
towels, and then it's up to them, but usually it's provided by the host.
Thank you. Yeah,
Okay.
so that's something that will be provided. You don't need a packet. Rosario said if you want to buy extra when you're here, sure, but that's not an expectation. You might be expected to wash your sheets and towels, but you don't need to purchase them or you don't need to bring them. That will be provided.
Então, respondendo a pergunta, então a família, tá, vai prover a roupa de cama e as toalhas para o estudante. Caso o estudante queira comprar adicional, queira comprar alguma da sua preferência, ele pode também. Como a Erin comentou, no final, provavelmente eles, né? Você vai ter que lavar a sua roupa de cama e banho. I'm gonna give one more minute for if anybody has any question. Eu vou dar mais 1 minuto se alguém tiver mais alguma pergunta, senão nós vamos encerrar a orientação da Twin Palms. Muito obrigado pela presença de todos. A gente vai encerrar aqui a apresentação da Twin Palms para o programa de janeiro de 2023. Thank you, Twin Palms team, for all your support and your answers. And we finalize here the presentation, Twin Palms.
Thank you, Natalia. Thank you,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Thank you, Andrea, Monica, Elizabeth. Bye, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye, thank you. Bye-bye.